but they are looking pretty strong at the moment as well. So guys, now we're jumping into Viper and TaToH against the Saiyans here on the map Pack, which this time generated Golden Crater, so we have a lot of gold in the middle, and we see the Viper playing the Byzantines here, starting with 1 archery range, 5 stables, and his teammate will be TaToH playing the Franks with massive amount of stables, exactly what you want to see. On the other side we have the green player, and he is playing the Byzantines, and we have Frank player here with a weird start, starting with an outpost. Sometimes you want to build outposts. For all the guys who are new to this tournament, we are playing this with the no wall mod. So sometimes you build outposts to save your villagers, but this isn't looking like the greatest start ever. Viper doing massive amount of damage here. Red not really getting any production out, neither does green. So guys, we're looking at those starts here. I kind of feel like a very one-sided series could be ahead of us, but I'll guarantee you that's something we won't see next week when the winner of this series is going against Rubenstock. But let's see. Obviously, those are DMers and they should know their build-ups. Not trying to get the defensive castle up. Here is our player in red. Actually, sniping a villager here as well. Green in some trouble though, and a pure halberdier defense this far by the Byzantine player. Obviously pretty great against a Frank player who's going for mainly halberdiers and stables himself. Maybe adding some champions could be an option. Or maybe just wait for the X-Men support as well. Revelations of this are already brutally in favor of our 2 Tyrant Flap players here. Getting a lot of villagers here at the front as well. Finally, the defensive castle is going up, so should deal quite well with all those camels. Now let's take a look, and instantly killing all those units before they can really gather together. And yeah, this feels like not the most fair matchup for sure. And well, just sit through all the 4 games, guys, and it is a tournament, it is one of the earlier stages, and as I said before in the pre-game show, we would have loved to see another matchup in this round, but RiuT and Fire had to give admin win against the Saiyans here. Therefore, we will look at those 4 games, we'll enjoy them as much as we can, and yeah, this tournament will hold way more great entertaining games. I'm 100% sure about that. All 4 games, yeah, I said that. Possibly 7 games. Now the double at the top, but Viper's coming over as well with his cheap camels. TaToH continues to push. Population advantage is pretty massive here. Green with only 40 pop, TaToH with 90. Viper is 40 pop ahead as well. Now trying to take another reasonable engagement. Has a lot of arbiters. Is getting aggressive castle up. Trying to get TCs up, could control the middle area as well. Trying to get to all that gold, and green is just getting over swarmed. Now losing his starting TC even, has only 6 villagers. Trying to get a villager sent around to maybe get the markets up, or is he trying to reboom or something? Well, surely green cannot be super happy with his performance here. And red said, no problem mate, it's all good. We are playing against one of the probably top 2 favorites in this tournament.
Yes.
And GG, well played. Game number 1 is in the books in this one. Pretty dominant game by the Viper and TaToH. Not much to fault here, not the most competitive games, no reason to really hype that. As I said, I can only advise you to watch all the other tournament games that will come up, and those will certainly entertain you more. Oops. Unless you'd like to see some domination, then this is great as well. And now map number 2 will be Green Arabia, and we're looking into the captain's mode. So let's take a look into that. We will have 1 ban global for each team, then 1 ban for the enemy, then 2 bans for the enemy again, and a pick. Those are the global bans, so we will not see Hans or Franks whatsoever in this match, on this map. Now a ban only for the enemy team. Obviously hidden, so we can't see it, the enemy can't see it. And we see Khmer and Goth banned. So now the pick for TaToH and for Lito. Goth being picked by TaToH and Slavs being picked by the Saiyans. Now we have 2 more bans only for the enemy. What's the logic behind the archery range start for Viper? Arbalest. A good unit, I heard. Oh, last ban, TaToH, going down in time. Okay, they banned Khmer and Saracens. Spanish and Teutons banned. Now that's interesting. Kind of feels like they want to go for Saracens then. Yeah, guys, all post what you want to have on AoE zone improved. I absolutely love the left-hand side tournament panel. It was so much easier. So we have Slav Koreans against Burmese and Goth. Why is this draft so complicated? It's not complicated if you have done it once or looked at it 3 times. And it's to create more different matchups. And also I could just use this overlay, and then you can see at the top here, look at that, global ban, ban, show bans, pick, so it shows you how it works at the top as well. So it's tough to screw it up once you've done it. So we have Goth and Burmese for TaToH and Viper, Slavs and Koreans for the Saiyans. Very rush intensive here by Viper and TaToH. Koreans picked because of siege onagers, probably, and war wagons. Koreans picked for free tower upgrade. TSC price pool just broke the $600 mark. Oh, sweet stuff. Guys, for everyone who trusts me and believes, like I do, that we will see a lot more good games in this tournament, and you want to contribute to that, maybe You want to put some dollaros into the prize pool. 100% of all your donations will go into the prize pool. 22 and Tyrant the Viper will be very happy for your donations. Is POV streaming not allowed for this tournament, or is Viper just not streaming intentionally? I think he's not streaming intentionally. Maybe he will stream the games against us. Late game against Slav isn't easy. I don't think that we will go into the late game. Yeah, I streamed all my games of this tournament. And let's jump into game number 2 here. Will be played on Green Arabia. Captain's mode did give us very fast civilizations for the Tyrant plebs and more of the slower civilizations for the 2 Hungarian players here. We have the Gostard by the Viper, and TaToH is playing the Burmese, so he probably wants to go for mass elephants, actually building that stable with 3 villagers at one time. And Koreans going for mass barracks. Slavs does the same, so it's important that Leto isn't going for mass halberdiers. Otherwise he could die heavily against the mass Huskarls. And the big problem here is also if we see mass halberdiers defense from the Koreans, the Huskarls could come over as well. T-jump! Okay, so it seems like Leto is at least going for the right units to get a reasonable defense off. If you're surprised why we don't see any houses here, that's because of the Slav team bonus. You get +5 population even if you build a military building. Defensive castles up. The Vipers pop, obviously skyrocketing. That's the beauty of the Goths. Not even doing the greatest job ever by building all those houses, but that's pretty reasonable. Building a market at a very weird point. Seems like he wants to sling, if I look at that. But the most important thing will be the push at the right hand side here. Those Burmese elephant, maybe together with some Rambai, and that looks exactly like that, how he's building those castles. Will do quite some work. We hear the market coming up, and he is just selling wood. Okay, wants to get some more gold in the bank, as it seems, and he is just streaming like a madman. Pop 90 for him. On the other side, pretty heavy push already here by TaToH. No traps out though this far, and maybe the elephants now going to the other side. Indeed, TaToH realizes, okay, I cannot really do something before I have my own traps out. So let's go over to the other side and double there. The Viper just continuing to build his champion. Obviously they will die against same amount of champions of the Slavs. Having their nice unique tech and the +4 defense really helps them out. But against elephants, this is a whole different story. The Viper is adding siege workshops quite a bit late as well, not getting to the highest amount of houses. And Viper actually blocked his gold spot there. An unfortunate stuff or spot for him. TaToH is going in with the side raid. Would obviously be better off to come in here. And now let's take a look. Viper actually retreats. Green doing quite a reasonable damage. 4 actually requesting some wood. Well, maybe not queuing up 15 war wagons could really help out. Aye. Cannot build any SO because there's way too many war wagons queued up. Now queuing up the double of TaToH. Quite a good job, and the Viper's going over to the right hand side, and obviously Huskarls will be so good against what the red player has as a defense at the moment. Halberdier, elite war wagons, and SO will have no match against Huskarls. Massive amount of army here still for the Viper. 100 military for him, but red also at 100 military. So we are going into more of a stabilizing game. Actually the score lead at the moment for our players in red. And if we go into the long game, the Goth player actually won't perform too well anymore. If we see enough counters against all those infantry out on the map. Which obviously could be pretty tough. And the numbers now of the red player kind of dropping as well. Green is asking for some stone, but We see Red already building so many castles here and losing so many castles at the front as well. That's why he cannot really support anything. The Viper is still controlling this beautiful hill here in the middle, is setting up the trade as well. Even having some farms running, all looks too solid. Delete some houses, is building a mining camp here. Could have maybe asked for a restart in this one if it was a bit of a closer, more important series for them. Okay, Red now pushing against TaToH. Overall population super even. 300 pop basically for both teams, and Red is holding on. TaToH in some troubles here. And that's a big army by Red still. If he uses that correctly, he is in quite a nice spot. Hoya would obviously do wonderful against everything a Goth player can get up here. So I don't really mind the positioning. The position that the two Hungarian players did put themselves in. They have a trade rolling, they kind of stabilized here as well, and it feels like they just had a very unfortunate start at the, in the first game. The team play isn't too shabby either. They're kind of asking for resources, giving resources. I like how they are playing this. Viper still beautifully controlling that hill. Now TaToH coming over but running into SO potentially here, and that is obviously a tough double for him. And TaToH just running. Did I even see some ground attacks here? I think I did. And now not going for the greatest army composition. Look at that, mainly ranged units here against SO and war wagons. That's not how it works. And TaToH, he needs to run, actually running into some shots, now trying to go for some split micro, but that's a lot of losses. Look at that, losing all the Rambai without killing all the SO, or actually killed most of the SO, but still new SO around. Champions now pushing in the middle over here. Uh-oh, and suddenly the Viper kind of running out of steam, and that's what I said before, the Goth player. I think against the Slav should die quite heavily. Against Champion Scorpion, he has no real answer. And oh, now war wagons. Oh, he right-clicked them, didn't patrol them in. That could be heavy losses for him. And well, I don't miss that for now. TaToH going for more Rambai though. And Red is running into the next castle. Could have been a fair trade-off, but actually Red is sending even more. Interesting stuff. And now the tower defense starts here with the Korean keeps. Oh, but Viper just so easily with reinforcing those Huskars. And that's just so sweet for them. Look at how much damage they are soaking up. Ah, yeah, beautiful, beautiful move here. Nice reaction, how he's producing them instantly. Sweet. That elephant go here at this side, but somewhat cleared up by all the SO that are around. And building more towers here. I like how Red and Green are playing this, and they're holding their own quite nicely. All four players close to pop limit now. Another SO shot in the back of them. Survived more than 50 minutes. I'm proud of my Hungarians. It should be. They're playing a very great game here at the moment. And just need to clear that up. Sending enough war wagons though, so that shouldn't be the biggest of problems. Shouldn't send too much though. Green shouldn't also come here. Red did send enough to clear this up. TaToH should be pretty happy with the damage he did here. Looks like a solid 15 to 20 trade cards. At the moment trade amount is 50 compared to, well, about 40 I would say. Maybe even 45. Viper quite nicely continuing to push here. Bomber cannon is range 12. Those keeps range 13 though, so that's not really going to work. Oh, and those Boyar, I believe they should be just perfect against the God player. Can TaToH and Viper maybe lose this game just because of the TIF picks? I wanted to make it a very short one.
Yes.
TaToH now pushing quite nicely into the red player who is heavily relying on his halberdiers. Wagon's not doing the greatest of damage here. And so is Elephant. Green taking good care of the Viper. And Slav's just so incredibly strong as it seems. Elephants sooner than later dying here, but the push of TaToH just pretty deadly. Not a lot of halberdiers around, no scorpions either. Would love to see the green player just build some scorpions to help out here. Korean war wagons, are they really the answer? I think he needs to have more halberdiers to help in this case, and well, it feels like just those 10-15 helping out were kind of enough. TaToH for 160, but pushing. Everyone else above 180, so pretty solid stuff for them. People are playing this quite nicely here in the late or even post-Imperial Age. And blue is holding this. TaToH even mixing in some champions. Not 100% sure if I like that, if we see the mass amount of war wagons still out. Obviously they were built to counter the halberdiers, but maybe Ramby's the better option. As always, taking good care of those traps, even damaging some of the champions coming around as well, and all the Rambis, so that's cleared up now. But most of them losing their lives as well. And we see a lot of resources being sent, so many people asking for resources. Viper even slinging TaToH. And look at that, Viper now switching into heavy CA. Now isn't that interesting? Okay.
Please. No.
So that should not work once the Slav player is actually going for SO again. SO Boya should just wreck this army. And Viper now going for Cavalier Hand Cannoneer and heavy CA. If I showed you this army and asked about the civilization, I think you would have had a tough time guessing that. He's actually Goth. Oh, maybe trying to go for some trade right now. Obviously, for that the army is just beautifully designed. Oh god, okay. Well, if all the CAs are dying before that, well, then it doesn't really matter. And now running into the next castle, they at least got the monitors there, but that didn't matter. And Red is still holding on here. TaToH is throwing everything in this. He knows he's only one swing away from finishing this game. But Red also realizes if we can hold this in the long run, our tips should be better. Well, that castle is somewhat optimistic if you ask me. Against 6 unpacked traps already here. Well, he really needs to get some repairs in, but well, that's not really going to happen. That's a waste of 700 stone here. And Yeah, now he's killing those traps, but a little late if you ask me. Uh-oh, Red in some troubles, not having enough halberdiers over and over again. And TaToH just doing such a beautiful job, just being so annoying with all his bad elephants. I actually feel like the Slav player should be the one really winning them the game. Should maybe build some halberdiers and scorpions over here. Just so much more efficient than the defense of the Korean player. And with the boyars, he should just wreck the Goth player as well. They haven't heard of sneaking villagers into the trade instead of CA. I wonder what you're referring to. Seems like you really wanted to have that castle at exactly that spot. So you went for a second try. Let's take a look. Cavaliers now focusing down those onagers. Down the traps. Trap number 1, trap number 2 should die to the onager if microed correctly. And indeed he is. So the castle will maybe do some more damage. Well, we will see. Trying to micro against SO. Not 100% sure if that's the easiest thing ever. Focusing down the trap again. Good stuff here by the player in the green trunks. TaToH again. So deadly though in this area. Look at what amount of dead bodies is laying around in this battlefield here. You can see a mass amount of battle elephants, war wagons, some Rambis, mass amount of SO, bombard cannons dying, traps dying as well. Yeah. Oh god! Talking of dead bodies. Bombard cannons and some halberdiers losing their lives here as well. And green is pushing against Viper. Not a lot of idle army, only some over here. Well, we have some spread around, but most of the army is actually fighting. So that's a good start. Uh-oh, but elephants now could come over. TaToH trying to find another angle. Seems like he feels, okay, Korean defense is maybe just too strong. But the Viper now around with his barracks, and that's just so good that he's adding some Haskals there as well. Just a very, very strong unit against composition that our Korean player is trying to defend with at the moment.
Yes.
TaToH going over the raid. Is he trying to focus down a castle? No, he's instantly going for the trade. Want to see some halberdiers coming over. They got intercepted though. Now the Boyar against Viper's Haskell, so that makes a lot of sense. And now they're in the trade here. Pretty tough spot for our Hungarians. I don't really see any army coming to clear this up. Well, some halberdiers from the left-hand side. Left-hand side, nothing. Right-hand side, some halberdiers. I think they should do well. And trade amount, actually still exactly 100. So that isn't the worst thing for them. Yeah, KD is not really important as the Goth. That's so true. Okay, small calm before the storm. Guys, if there's no threat with drama, it's your responsibility to open it, insult someone in the heading, and then have a long post, repeat yourself over and over again, name all the options, of which at least half of them should not make sense. That's a good drama post to start off. And then point something as a clear fact that everyone should know that actually isn't true. Then you're in a good spot to start some, well, okay. The drama is there. Okay. Well, then you don't need to take care about it. Someone else did, probably. Just chilling here. TLC drama, best drama. Seems like influenza as described. Did I? No, I actually wasn't. I seriously wasn't thinking about anyone specific. I'm having the worst flu ever. For these past 3 days, my head about to explode, not feeling 50% of my capabilities, totally screwed by a rescue that was never supposed to happen. Oh, and then leaving. Okay. Well, let's continue to take a look at this game. Big problem is still if Viper and TaToH are mixing up their armies, this will get super tricky here to defend. At the same time, well, pushing down those traps isn't really the most important thing. I believe you really need to kill the army as well. You need to get into the trade here and push quite heavily. Otherwise you will lose the game, because I feel red will not hold forever. Maybe we can see. Yeah, he's absolutely at the limit with the resources. Needs to get more onto stone as well. Maybe get some castles up. And actually, this is a horrible market by him. Should absolutely leave that one. That's just so bad. Okay. He is doing quite a good job. Those boyars are just a pretty damn strong unit. Uh-oh. Can he maybe break the Viper? Is that an option? SOs aren't doing too shabbily against those incoming Huskarls as well. Now mixing on some champions. Red is playing this quite nicely. Uh-oh, but another go in the middle here. But Red spotted it quite early. Let's take a look. Can he maybe get some shots in against the Rambai? Bad Elephants obviously having a lot of HP, but still some Harbidiers left. They're actually pretty good here. You will be surprised how much of a difference they are making. At the same time, Green is kind of losing some steam because he's defending here in the middle. Okay, sending, and this will be an easy clear up. Trade amount, again 100 to way less, and that's a big problem. Both players sending all their army. That's a mistake, because now we can see they have solid 70 army clumped up against 3 Battle Elephants, and at the same time they don't have any pop space to defend over here. And that's another push coming in, and that's just poor team communication that both are going for it. Maybe X too much. And that's why you're in TeamSpeak. Someone says, I will clear it, or you have to say, my teammate is clearing this. But now they're just getting overrun, and that's a big problem. Now they're in the defense against the Ghost player. And now look at that. He is over here at the left-hand side and sending his warriors over to the right-hand side corner. That's just not clever. Okay, and one market will die at least. Most likely two, maybe even more. Green, what is he doing with his... Oh yes, where are they going? Oh god. And that army is stopped in the middle here. Viper's going for more CA at the same time. And they will just kill all the markets. No answer to that. And where are all the war wagons? Oh god, they're only now coming over here. I'm so distracted with some of the Huskarls. And market will be up over here, but... now they just lost so much initiative. They're still ahead in population, but map control is not there anymore. The trade is not there anymore. This push will continue. TaToH will continue with all his traps, and Red is in a world of trouble. But we are at minute 46. Something after this start of the Hungarians was something we didn't expect.
Yes.
Okay, back onto trade now. Okay, now they're defending the right-hand side together, trying to get the old markets back up. They're really getting their resource on the map. Uh-oh, but now no buffer against the battle elephants. Look at that, all the boyas at the right-hand side. Okay, well, there were enough. But no siege at the moment by our player in red to get more traps out. All those trade cards should be getting back to work. And they are kind of holding. Green down to pop 1 in 60, but it's mainly because he just lost a lot of boya over here. But TaToH knows, if we push this area, we will win this game. And they're just going for it. Okay, red deleted his market and now... love to see more than 3 barracks out of the Viper here as well. Obviously 3 ghost barracks are hella fast, but still. And Viper meanwhile realizes, okay, you're trying to defend with your teammate there, maybe I can find another good engagement over here in the middle. Trying to snipe down that castle again. Boyas trying to go for the kills against the traps. And the Ram's helping out as well. So that castle will be held. He really likes that castle. And that spot as it seems. Okay, killing one of the castles of TaToH as well. TaToH going in with another raid. Actually keeps some Rambis back and sends some in. Didn't want to eat the big SO shots as it seems. And uh-oh, we already can see sad smileys. Not the greatest spot. And now the Rambis will find a good angle to get a lot of kills. SO not going for the kill there. Oh, now coming over slowly. But in the meanwhile, TaToH is just sending in more and more over and over again. Trade cards now dropping below 80. Actually less than TaToH and Viper had at those all times. Viper trying to push here, but doesn't really have the siege anymore. Because Lito did a beautiful job of sniping the traps over and over again. Red really struggling with resources. Look at that. He's getting all the reach on the map. Beautiful, beautiful play by him in that regard. And yeah, very happy how he's playing this. Oh, Viper now trying to go for the trade raid. I don't really see any answer to that. Still some champions from before, and it feels like they didn't spot it either, or did they? Well, one SO is now coming. Let's see if they can maybe get more running. Don't really focus on any of the villagers, trying to spread around a bit. Look at that, even trying to focus down the SO. Oh god, split, micro, something. Well, but he got the SO, and that's the most important thing. But still, some stuff was around. So it's actually getting cleared up, and they X this again, but it doesn't really matter. The most important thing is really the push over here at the right hand side, which is really ending the game here. No more chance for red to defend. He's down to pop 160, green at pop 120. They lost all their market. Well, they still have 70 trade cards, but running too short. Now trying to get more markets up again in this area, but losing castle after castle, now going down to 0 castles pretty soon after those 2 are dying, and then no more war wagons, and those were the units that really held him in this game. GG is the question on the table, and it is answered with yes. So 2-0 for the Tyrant Plebs, and oh boy, did they have a hard time in this game. Mainly because Goss had a super long distance against the Slav player, which he actually wanted to rush. Well, the favorites in this tournament? There are probably 3 teams. Rubenstock and Nili, Viper and TaToH, and Quendi True with Quendi Rage. Maybe contender as well could be Praxes and Leash as a 4th team, maybe around there. Viper, I see with Goss, so much gold. That's just ridiculous. Getting a relic. That's something we don't see too often. Okay, game number 3 will be Golden Crater with Captain's Mode. Let's see what they will go for now. Ditbar is not playing. Nili, thanks so much. Going for the 2-layer pyramid. Oh god, going for the small one. Not really a thing. Okay, let's go into the next Civ draft over here. As I said before, we are looking into Golden Crater, the map from game number 1 as well. Ha. So now Viper is banning Goth. Interesting. And Franks are banned. Those are 2 global bans, guys. Now everyone is banning for the other guy. They're banning Hunts. Obviously still a very, very fast civilization. The Viper picked Khmer for his team. Slavs being picked for the Hungarians. And Viper instantly banned Khmer behind that. Leader banned Slavs behind, so interesting. And Burmese ban behind, so they really want the leaders to not play with a lot of good elephants. So Vietnamese and Malay are plus the option. Indians banned. That's weird. That's weird. Indian ban, then they kind of are going for Spanish? Viper, pick in 2 seconds. Decide! Burmese, oi. Spanish, yeah, okay. Well, at least I got that right. Mastermind. So Burmese Khmer against Slav Spanish. I'm kind of expecting to see some bad elephants here. Small idea. I think Italians could have made sense as well, right? Interesting. By the way, bad news. I really need to leave in half an hour. So let's hope the series ends before that. How are Saiyans going to stop the Elder Rush? Obviously, hopefully with a lot of Halberdiers. How good are Genoese crossmen versus Alice? Really good. A lot of people picked Italians. The date? No. I just have to send an email that I haven't finished, like the whole script, before, like in an hour. So it could be pretty ugly, and I like it's like incredibly important. It's like super stupid that I'm streaming. Yeah. Can we have neither face nor herstory? I believe so, yeah. But still, there are a lot of scorpions around, so converting is not really a thing. No, the Emma has ever converted anything? That's not true. In Persian wars, it's pretty common to see monks. Okay, guys, then let's go over into game number 3. Where can we see the match then? I think it will end before that. Okay, Viper now starting with triple stable without a house? He forgot that he had no slab teammate. Oh god. Now thinks, okay, let's put some houses for a change. TaToH was remembering this a bit better. And we will see... Actually, this should be a restart for the Viper, but, well, never mind. I think they will just play this out. And... no, having some trouble with that one villager. Now sending him back. Elephant sandwiching that poor hussar. And here we go. TaToH saving his villager as well. So actually Red did get 2 kills. Viper over here, not 100% sure. The question still is, how will they stop that amount of bad elephants and heavy scorpions? Will be so tough. Ay ay ay. Viper actually adding some barracks now and adding some halberdiers himself. Interesting stuff. Elephant sandwich so tasty. Well, it was hussar sandwich, right? By elephant. Oh boy! TaToH absolutely needs to retreat here. That's a fight he cannot really take. Running into big SO shots here. Maybe some ground attacks now. I'm not sure if TaToH really wants to take that engagement. Oh, actually the shots missed. But enough halberdiers out to really clear this up. So no problem at all for this. Let's take a look. Can we see more shots? At the same time, Viper is not really fighting. And those scorpions are doing an exceptional job against the champions, but let's take a look. How can they retreat against some SO shots? Well, at least 2 can't make that. Oh, completely getting flattened here. Now the SO needs to go back. Aye aye. Seems to be the side where holding back is not really an option. Paladins coming over here, but at a weird timing, completely not talking to each other. And uh-oh, that's getting intercepted as well. And it's not like Leader has too many villagers here that he can afford those. Viper with his scorpions and a Rambai should be able to deal with those halberdiers quite reasonably well. And now TaToH's coming over. He sees, okay, this guy has a pretty solid defense. Let's better find another engagement. Well, this one is not the one he was looking for. Well, actually, that was Viper's elephants. How did they get there? No real idea. Probably still trying to get some stuff done. And now they're doubling from this right-hand side. But there's still a beautiful castle here, trying to make this a very tight choke. Let's take a look how Rito's coming over, running into the scorpions first. More scorpions of the Viper around as well. Villager difference isn't the most important thing at the start. Military difference is a bit more important, at least in those numbers. Thank you so much. And well, fighting under 3 castles didn't really work out here. And Viper just lost a lot of
4
stuff.
months of hippo. Hurrah.
We are looking into, again, somewhat of a stabilized game here. And they started the trade a bit earlier than the Tyrants are doing that. And they're somewhat out of gold. But now starting to control the middle area. Something we can't see that much from the 2 Hungarians. Uh-oh, trying to find another good engagement, running into all those SO shots. Let's take a look. Whoa. Now finally closing down the distance, but still some reasonable losses here for TaToH and actually for RiuT. Ah, Burmese has a team bonus, Khmer has a team bonus of +1 range. That's pretty sexy. Okay, now in the trade, but should get cleared up by all those halberdiers and conquistadors. Yeah, so that will be easily done as well. TaToH still so annoying, trying to do some more damage against the castles, controlling this middle area as well. And seems like the onagers of red are dying as well. Halberdiers were a bit out of position, but now Viper, mainly Halberdier, Scorpion army, no real elephants to push with, but he is pop 180 and his enemy at pop 160. On the other side we have TaToH with an even bigger advantage, roughly 60 pop more than his enemy. Protecting his traps quite nicely, advancing slowly but surely. And sending more units into the middle. And for the raids, let's take a look. Trying to focus down the onagers, are the Rambis, but losing quite a lot of their lives in exchange. For that now, not a lot of gold income for red and green. How are their trade cards looking? 22 and 17, that's quite solid. Elephant too strong. Well, welcome to Wololo Kingdoms, mate. Has been out for over a year now. Or at least Rise of Rajas. So, yeah, they aren't bad. We can all agree on that. And TaToH is continuing to push in here. Let's take a look if he's going for the trade or wants to go for the eco. It seems like the pops are just very dominant here. They have all the access to the gold in the middle. They are starting their trade quite reasonably as well. And TaToH is just blocking this off so nicely. Will kill all the markets again. And still has an army left here as well to still protect his traps. What a beautiful play by TaToH. Obviously, the Khmer civilization helping him out quite a bit with that as well. Trying to send some units over to maybe save the market, but it feels like that's not really going to happen. And at the same time, oh, look at that team play. If that was communicated, that would have been so sweet. TaToH saying, okay, they lost all their markets, the trade has to be on the other side. Send over some Rambis to kill all those trade cards. And GG is questioned, and again, the yes comes, and they will tap out pretty soon. And GG! It is the 3-0 for the Tyrant plebs here. TaToH and Viper in this game. Not here to make real friends. They were here to take the W as fast as possible. Next game will be something with elephants again. And we will see with how many. TaToH, just brutal KD there. Got so much done against green. Even got some solid eco rolling. Sweet stuff for him. 105 villagers, and take a look at his farm eco. Well, that's not too shabby at all here. And now game number 4 will be Prairie. Different non-AOC civs. So surprise, surprise, Slavs and Khmer could be picked. I think that's the civilizations we have seen every time this far. Maybe if the Tyrants wants to go for more elephants, they can pick Khmer Burmese again. But it feels like Slavs could be a bit stronger. You want to see Team Islands? Tune in at 20 GMT. That's your chance. Or watch the VODs from yesterday. That's also your chance. But in this series, very unlikely. The cons post and drama post is just hilarious. Thank you, G-Man. Do Westerners even play on BullBeatsDN? No. I have an account to sometimes stream games, but I think I haven't played a single game, and I don't know many that have either. Because Ellie is so dominant, why is Saracens not picked in DM more often? Elephants aren't that dominant than what we see here. The leaders are just, or like the Saiyans are just doing a poor job of countering them. For example, with Saracens. AOC stands for Age of Conquerors. It's a universal name that we're using for Age of Empires 2 in general, or Age of Empires 2 with the first expansions. So Age of Kings and the Conquerors. Is the Viper considered the strongest in China too? Yes. When we were over there, everyone was hyping him as the best player on the world. Why no Indians with all the Imperial camels? Camels aren't that good in 5.7 anymore. And yeah. But I still feel they play pretty strong. I'm a bit surprised how underpicked they are.
Nili, oh boy, enter. Nili, oh boy, enter.
Oh, didn't read the whole message. Nili, oh boy, enter. Nili, oh boy, Nili, oh boy, Nili, oh boy, enter. How do Mesothiefs do in DM? Not too well. That's no real Pop 200 army firepower. Kamayuks are somewhat okay, I would say, but too immobile. What are the top 5 TM tips for DM? It's tough to say. It's really tough to say. Will you stream every GE next week? Very unlikely. Best civs, not Aztecs, not Berbers, maybe Burmese, maybe Celts, maybe Franks, maybe Huns, Khmer for very sure. Mongols, but no one knows it. Slavs, for sure. Maybe Spanish. Still not really figured out yet. And that's the beauty of this tournament. Because we are here to figure it out. We can figure it out in game number 4, played on Prairie. We are having a flat map with 2 scouts to start with. So those starts can be pretty tricky. We are looking into a Slav Khmer picked by the Tyrant Plebs and double villager kill? No, only 1 villager kill. And a Slav Indian pick by the 2 Hungarian players. Malay should be best DMtive? Not really. But they are somewhat okay. Rambis are super bad. Rambis, Karambits. Okay, now you can see the problem of the Indians. They don't have much going for them. Once the enemy has a good counter to those Imperial Camels, you cannot really have a good army composition in total. You kind of need to switch around now. Maybe some Scorpions as a defense here by our Slav player and go double, send over some Imperial Camels on the other side. Could be an option, but I think every time the Indian player should add some hand cannoneers against the halberdiers and should be in the advantage, but seems like the Viper start was just way too solid. And Slavs have paladins at some point, I think very early on. And that was changed like with the first or second patch. Uh-oh, look at that. TaToH is really on a rampage here and going in without patrol. Well, that isn't looking too pretty, but now finally thinks, okay, let's attack back, and he is already again in a very good spot. This kind of reminds me of game number 1, how this looked. A lot of Imperial Camels coming over. At the same time, Viper not doing the pressure he needs to, sending some units over, sending some villagers over to build some siege workshops as well. And TaToH, well, kind of taking a breath now. Red with pop 100, the highest here in this game so far. Elite elephant archers, they could obviously be somewhat tricky, but I don't see them being like the killer unit. Oh, why did he retreat? I felt like he was just winning. Okay. Uh-oh. That's not the best use of halberdiers I've ever seen one. Ay. Okay, small losses. Oof. Halberdiers now trying to take another engagement against the Indian Camels here. He simply has no addition. He needs to get some SO help from his teammate, and that's not happening at the moment. TaToH, at the meantime, losing quite a bit of his heavy Scorpions though. Uh-oh, that was another good shot. Green, somewhat stabilizing, I have to say. It's putting too many boyars for my taste. Just halberdier and siege will do for now. The Viper even doing some barracks over here. Not 100% sure, but like barracks. Would have preferred archer ranges or stables there. But, well, didn't put too much thought into that as it seems. Oh god, and those SO shots now. Yeah, it's not like elite elephants can split too well against SOs there, and they're so big, they will take quite a lot of damage here. And now look at that, an Indian player who is going for very little Imperial Camels. Ay. Not looking too great for him. The only good thing working for him at the moment is that the Viper has no traps to really continue to push. But TaToH is just on the verge of dominating this side as well. At the moment, lost all his traps though. Somewhat stabilizing again. SO shots. Oh god, the Viper. Oh god, what is the Viper doing? Ay. Okay, well that just happened. Clicked a bit too far there. And well, he's producing new ones. And yeah, that's an interesting army competition. Building like Imperial Camel, Skirmisher, Onager, Hand Cannoneer, Hussar. What did I forget? Elite Elephant, Archer, and Villagers. So he really likes to have a good composition that's uncounterable. Oh boy, another big shot there, flattening all the Scorpions, but castle after castle going down. Trying to sneak around, yeah, getting some control of this map here. Doing quite a nice job with that. And sending Halberdiers over. Elite Elephant Archers are coming over as well though. But I'm not sure if they will actually do the damage against Battle Elephants from TaToH. Nor will they do the greatest damage against SO from the Viper that are already waiting there. What is the Viper doing at the moment? Investing a lot into his Halberdier double, but well, that's it. Needs to get more traps out, more siege, needs to push here. At the moment he is allowing red to get onto high population. Viper finally fighting back with his SO for a change.
Give me your extra resources.
Give me your extra resources. Double comes over again. TaToH a solid 100 villagers. And actually everyone is quite a solid amount of army out here. And villagers. 2 Hungarians actually even in the lead when it comes to their population. Oh, gee, man. Ay, 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 ay. Thank you. Gee, man. Oh god, Skirmisher as well, not the greatest unit they really want to have at this moment. And yeah, Red just asking RiuT to build him some SO. Not really the greatest support at the moment. And TaToH again preparing a side go into the trade. It isn't too far away from that. TaToH moving in now. They're pop 160, 170, similar numbers for our 2 Hungarians. And now the guard tower push with the Indians starts to come around the corner again. And look at that, they're not even focusing down the trade cards, they're just focusing down the markets. And even the wrong ones. I think he should have went for the back markets first, but it feels like he will get at least 3, more likely even 4 of them. And I don't really see any Halberdiers coming over. I believe they're losing all their trade here, and this could be the GG moment pretty soon. Market number 3 is down, market number 4 is on the verge of falling as well. Imperial Camels now coming over. TaToH actually camping there, not 100% sure why he's not just focusing down the market as well. Seems like now he's somewhat splitting them off. Killing the villagers that will come over, and the push just continues here. We have 460 and 40, so that's still reasonable. Oh god, what a guard tower defense! What a guard tower defense by the Indian player! A pure masterpiece. Megulnek Hop Cups! Exactly! Megulnek Hop Cups! And the Battle Elephant of TaToH just taking good care of that trade. They are down to roughly 40 trade cards, similar amount to what Viper has alone. And TaToH is just willing to continue his push non-stop. Lido is down to pop 125, and boy, well, Red is holding here. Red is holding, but he is saying GG as well. GG, well played. And in the end, the Tyrant Plebs are taking their win here quite nicely. Not much to talk about this game, I believe. Indians isn't really the greatest Civ choice. And yeah, TaToH just a very strong Khmer player. And now, yeah, I believe the Rubenstocks have to really prepare for a very intense game. And what's going on here? Taking a look at the brackets, showing us that Rubenstock against Tyrant Plebs will be our next game there in the semi-finals. Okay, I really need to rush out, guys.